Okay, class, I'm back with Science, Technology, and Society. Same topic, biodiversity, nasa part 2 na tayo. So, we have discussed the introduction of biodiversity, what is biodiversity, and the type of biodiversity sa part 1. Now, we are going to discuss part 2, yung status of the Philippines, biodiversity, and the technological advancement that to support the biodiversity. Okay, let's start. Okay, class. Pag sinabing biodiversity, syempre we are in an archipelago, di ba? Ano na kaya ang status ng biodiversity sa Pilipinas? So, the Philippines is one of the 18 mega diverse country in the world, containing two-thirds of the Earth's biodiversity and between 70 to 80 of the world's plant and animal species. The Philippines ranked fifth in the number of plant species and maintain 5% of the world's flora. Bakit ba kasi kinonsider na ang Pilipinas is nasa 18 mega diverse country in the world, 'di ba? Kasi we have been considered as mega diverse because yung we are rich in the variety of ecosystem, yung species and the genetic makeup within the species. Ito din ay it was also driven na ang location natin is archipelago, which produces assortment of resources for the organism. So maraming islands ang Pilipinas na pinaniniwalaan na have a great number of endemic organism, both sa land and sa water. Sa totoo lang, 50% ng total species or 50% of the 52,177 species found in the Philippines cannot be found on any other parts of the world. Hindi nyo siya makikita. Sa Pilipinas lang. This makes the Philippines one of the richest country in terms of biodiversity compared sa other country na there are several geographic and ecological characteristic na ang Pilipinas ay mayaman sa biodiversity. Ito yung sinasabi dyan na supporting the 70 to 80 of the species sa entire planet. Ito yung here are some reason kung bakit well-diverse ang species sa wild ng flora and fauna ng Pilipinas. It is found at the Philippines, di ba, the Philippines is found in a tropical and found in the tropics where the climate supports a high level of organic productivity to provide the resources needed by the interdependent organism to survive. So yung init, yung klima natin hindi gano'n kainit, hindi din gano'n kalamig. So sobrang lamig. So yun din nagsusupport bakit maraming organism ang nabubuhay. So the Philippines is found in the tropics. Pangalawa is that the Philippines has a highly heterogeneous and complex topography. So, ang Pilipinas is ecological, yung Philippines ecological location kasi varies from mountain range to coral reef and everything in between, providing a multitude of plants and animal species more than yung space na kailangan ng mga organisms to survive. So yung mga mountain range natin at saka 'di ba sa first part sa part 1 na discuss natin doon na yung rainforest pa rin ang may pinakamadaming organism. So mayaman tayo doon hanggang sa ilalim ng tubig. Sabi 'di ba sabi natin doon na yung mga organisms hindi pa nadi-discover, nasisira na because of climate change. But sa totoo lang, napakadami talagang organisms na hindi pa nadi-discover na nasa ilalim ng lupa or nasa gitna ng rainforest. So, pangatlo, yung isolation created by a separate islands as well as the peak of mountain range. Yung diversity na sobrang hiwa-hiwalay ng mga ano natin, ng mga tawag diyan, islands at saka ng mga mountains because of the location of the Philippines. Yun din yung dahilan bakit well-diverse, well-distributed ang species sa atin. So number 4 is the elevation. The elevation has an influence on biodiversity. So yung productivity stressor such as the heat and the atmospheric pressure decreases while the other more life supporting factors such as humidity, 'di ba yung uh, temperature or yung mga droplets ng water sa land and the rainfall increases as you as the elevation also increases. So ang Pilipinas is maganda ang topography niya. One may find a generous offering of biological diversity, especially in the highland. So, bakit ganon? Despite of being known as the rich biodiversity, ang Pilipinas is also considered as a biodiversity hotspot. Bakit biodiversity? Bakit biodiversity hotspot? Bakit ano ba ang ah, nag-i-imply no na hotspot ang biodiversity ng Pilipinas because the occurrence of the threatening or alarming rate of destruction and other important resources nasisira na kasi. So based on the report, yung Foundation of the Philippine Environment, the number of species from different group are being threatened through the years. So merong mga bagay na nagko-cause ng bakit kino-consider na sobrang nasa hotspot tayo biodiversity hotspot also. Why? Why the Philippines is considered as biodiversity? Sabi diyan, because alam naman natin na we are a growing nation, 'di ba? Developing or undergoing modernization. So yung forest and some other wild ecosystem are being converted into into urbanization and industrialization. Look at the picture on the left, 'di ba? Yung mga forest natin, magaganda, malalaki, mountain range as we have discussed a while ago. Pero because of urbanization and industrialization, nawawala yung mga ibang species there na supposedly meron tayo, nawawala lalo. So, nasa hotspot pa rin tayo ay nasa hotspot pa rin ang biodiversity natin. So, what else? Sabi diyan, 'di ba? Sabi dito, overexploitation. Bakit overexploitation? Look at the picture. 'Di ba? The wild animals are in demand to foreign customers o kaya yung um, mga bukod sa animals, yung mga produkto na gawa sa kahoy. So talagang aside from na-exploit na rin ng animal, yung plants din natin and the forest is nagsasuffer because of over-exploitation. Next is what? Sabi pangatlo is deforestation. Why deforestation? Oh, look at the picture. Deforestation as part of industrialization and urbanization of the country. Siyempre, they need to cut down and to cut down trees that becomes a necessity. Parang kailangan nilang iputulin o tanggalin. It also includes the land degradation. Parang nadidegrade na rin ang buhay o ang yaman ng lupa because of deforestation. And last is the climate change and population. Anyway, we are going to have a separate discussion with climate change and the pollution as we go along with our discussion. So there are also yung last topic natin, the technological advancement that supports biodiversity. What are those? So meron tayong mga technological advancement, siyempre technology for to support the biodiversity. What do you mean by better mapping and visualization? 'Di ba yung Google Earth has been very instrumental in locating organisms in the region or some part ng Earth. So it is proven that it is not just a map to get a direction, but it also has a real tool to help to conserve and preserve species and habitat. So nakikita na agad. So this software is powerful in mapping and visualizing threat to the survival of those organisms. So monitor na natin through mapping, better mapping and visualization for the organisms, saan ba sila talaga matatagpuan. And ito yung ginagawa nila. O pangalawa is the remote control photography and videography. Getting closer, getting up close and recording the details of the behavior of wildlife in their natural habitat are essential to learn about the needs and risk of endangered species. 'Di ba kanina sabi natin hindi na alam kasi we are just experimenting, we are just kumbaga kumukuha lang tayo ng mga impormasyon tungkol sa mga microorganisms sa laboratory kasi hindi naman natin na-explore yung totoong habitat nila. Pero with this kind of photography and videography, yung may mga remote control na makikita na natin yung mga bacteria or microorganism in their natural habitats. And also, halimbawa, yung mga agila, di ba? mga agila, hindi na may mga cameras or remote control na para picturean sila, ano na nangyayari. So, they are in their natural habitat. So, yung remote measurement tools, what do you mean by remote measurement tools? Yung stereo camera system has developed to get up close, observe, and take precise measurement among some species such as the shark and crocodile for conservation of each research effort. And this is a high-tech tools that gives measurement with great accuracy without actual being in the contact with the animal and others. Kasi 'di ba, sabi nga natin during our discussion dati, when dati kapag ang man go to the moon or went to the moon, parang one way lang, wala nang balikan kasi mahirap bumalik because of the risk ng life nila doon, hindi alam kung anong meron doon. So ngayon hindi na. So they have the remote measurement tools. Kung halimbawa, instead of yung crocodile na imi-measure mo, alang risky pa sa buhay ng tao. Now hindi na. So meron na tayong mga pangsukat o pang picture sa kanila, pang video kung nasan man sila on their natural habitat. Ito pa yung maganda, number 4 natin, yung conservation drone. Kasi 'di ba ang drone are very helpful for the military in the warship. They are also currently used for exposing the top view of a scenic spot of visual entertainment. Recently, yung mga ecologists and the biologists and other scientists created a conservation drone to complete the camera, sensor, and GPS to map the deforestation. Kaya kaya hindi na masyadong mahirap malaman o nasan ba yung mga nagkakaingin, sino ba nagpuputol ng mga puno na walang permit, 'di ba? Namomonitor na, especially the DENR, which is um under their yung kumbaga jurisdiction na i-control. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng DENR? Department of ano Energy and Natural Resources. So moreover, it is yung drone, it is used to count the organisms in an ecosystem. Diba? Makikita na natin. So last is the gene sequencing. Ito naman understanding the nature of pathogen, yung mga sakit, bakit magkakasakit. So the diseases among animal is important for the right treatment. So gene sequencing is used to identify yung pathogen. So scientists are now using high-tech or gene sequencing machine to understand the biology of an organism. It is also likewise used to confirm the grouping of organism in their species level. So hindi na mahirap mag mag determine ng diseases kung sino yung ah, ano ba 'to, kumbaga lahi ba 'yan, 'di ba? Kasi makikita na o kaya naman sa magkakapatid due to this gene sequencing kung carrier ng cancer cells ang parent, sinong anak ang puwedeng magkaroon ng cancer. So nade-detect na nila 'yon. So because of the gene sequencing. So 'di ba with the technological advancement, makikita na natin ang Earth, 'di ba? Ito yung top view, papakita ko sa inyo yung top view ng Earth. 1978 and 2017, the year when some of you are born, 'di ba? Or mga 3 years old na siguro kayo or mga ilang taon na kayong 2017. Ay, matatanda na kayo. Meron na kayong mga teens na kayo nito. So, ito yung picture, 1978 kapanahunan ng mga magulang natin, 'di ba? nai-enjoy nila ang ganda ng Earth. And eto na yung 2017, mararamdaman na natin ang init. And worst things, guys, eto pa. The Earth where your children will live from this picture, eto yung next. Look at that, 'di ba? At kung etong 1960s mga parents natin, yung 2023 is our time. Look, yung sobrang init, yung sobrang yelo, mga natutunaw na, 'di ba? And how much more sa panahon ng mga anak, ang mga anak-anak natin during their time. So sa 2016. So you better think of a way how to prolong the life of the earth para maabutan pa ng mga anak natin kahit ito man lang mga yung earth ng 2023 image. Huwag nating hayaang maging sa 2060 ganito ang mangyari sa earth. Okay? Hope you understand and prepare for a quiz for part 3. Okay, good day guys.